Anakin survived losing both his legs and arms while being burned alive. Maul survived being sliced in half and falling from a tremendous height. Darth Sion, Lord of Pain, survived death itself several times. And now, finally, an old but new addition to the team, Darth Simus. Subscribe or else Simus will come for you while you sleep. Born several centuries before 5000 BBY, Simus was a Sith who became one of the most powerful Force sensitives of his time. In 5150 BBY, after the fall of the Sith Empire's reigning Dark Lord of the Sith warlord Simus contended for the throne by challenging Marka Ragnos, his chief competitor, to battle. The resulting duel between Marka Ragnos and Simus left the latter scarred and bodiless, meaning he decapitated him. However, as remembered over a century later by his apprentice Naga Sadow, Lord Simus was determined not to fail the Sith. Using Sith techniques unknown to others, the magician kept himself alive, preserving his head in a crystal sphere.
Just a flesh wound.
An armored Sith served as the bearer of Simus' device, ferrying it as his beheaded master willed. Simus was eventually made a member of the Sith Council, the Dark Lord's advisory body composed of warlords that met at the Sith Citadel on the world Ziost, located in the Sith World's region on the Outer Rim territories. The bodiless warlord survived the assassinations and infighting brought about by Ragnos amongst his detractors, instead advising the Dark Lord for over 100 years in becoming greatly respected amongst fellow counselors. The decapitated Simus attended the Sith Council alongside his servant. Aside from attending the council, Simus took on a Sith named Naga Sadow as his apprentice. Although most Sith during Marka Ragnos' reign were ignorant of their ancient enemies, the Jedi and the Galactic Republic, that governed much of the galaxy, Sadow was raised from birth to fight against purported threats of a Republic invasion and the replacement of Sith tenets with that of the rivaling Jedi orders. Amidst the frequent infighting amongst the Sith, which was stirred by Ragnos and his fear that further Sith expansion would result in contact with the Jedi and the Republic with disastrous effects, Sadow became Viceroy of the moon Kahar Shian in Sith space. When Ragnos died around 5000 BBY, Simus' pupil bidded for the position of Dark Lord against a fellow counselor named Ludo Kresh. Sadow was supported by his master as well as several other members on the council in his aspiration to expand the borders of the Sith Empire, while Kresh was a conservative contender with popular support, wanting to remain unchanged in their golden age, keeping the Empire strong and stable before seeking new frontiers, and to ensure that they retained their wealth and kept firm control over the Sith people. Nevertheless, before a feud could be waged between the Sith, the late Marka Ragnos had to be laid to rest at the ancient Valley of the Dark Lords on the burial world of Korriban. Simus attended the funeral of Marka Ragnos, where the burial ritual required all participating Sith Lords to space themselves evenly in a perfect circle. The ceremony was conducted by 20 individuals, including Ludo Kresh, who led the coveted 6th position, whereas Simus was in the 16th position, located directly opposite. After the tomb of Marka Ragnos was sealed, Sadow challenged Kresh to a duel for the title of Dark Lord before the tomb. While fighting, the combatants were interrupted by the appearance of a specter of Marka Ragnos, which told all the Sith present about the existence of their ancient foes, the Jedi, and that circumstances could soon change despite the current golden age of the Sith. Thus, before departing, the Spectre of Ragnos warned the Sith to choose their paths wisely. As the ghost of Simus' former rival dissipated, a foreign starship made a landing on Korriban. After inputting random coordinates into the navigation computer of their scout ship, the Starbreaker 12, 2 hyperspace explorers from the Republic had inadvertently discovered the Mausoleum world with a direct hyperlane between the Republic's core worlds and Sith space. The Offworlders' human twins named Jory and Gav Daragon proceeded to declare their intention of coming in peace, and told the Sith that they hailed from the Republic. Upon hearing this, in their fear that the two humans' arrival was the harbinger of a full-scale attack from the Republic Ragnos Spectre had warned about, the Sith Council immediately ordered the Daragons' imprisonment and convened to discuss the matter. Simus, who was accompanied by his servant and 9 other members of the Sith Council, held a meeting on Ziost, a world from where the Dark Lord of the Sith normally ruled. As a new Dark Lord had yet to be decided on, the Council's warlords vied for rulership of the Empire, leaving Simus to mediate between the power-hungry Sith Lords. Ludo Kresh claimed that the two humans were spies sent by the Republic, and if the Offworlders were allowed to escape, the two would return with their forces to plunder all that the Sith had worked hard to build. Members of Kresh's conservative faction further said that they should kill the two explorers and remove all evidence that they were ever in Sith territory. Lord Simus then interjected, telling Kresh that he was overtaken by fear and constrained by irrational prudence. The dismembered Sith further told the Council that the arrival of the Daragons was an opportunity, one they should consider before destroying it forever. Sadao sided with his master and told Kresh that his mindset was still attached to the past times of Marka Ragnos, and that the Counselor was afraid of change. Yet Kresh persisted, saying that if Simus was wrong, they would lose everything, while if he himself was wrong, they would lose but the lives of 2 worthless humans. Sadao responded with anger, saying that to kill the 2 explorers was to lose the chance to pursue glory and riches, capture thousands of new worlds, and conquer the entire galaxy. Holding Simus' gaze, Sadao declared that it was their destiny. Nevertheless, a majority of the Council members did not share Sadao and Simus' ambition, and decided that Jory and Gav Daragon posed too great a threat to their empire. The Council's tribunal sentenced the captives to immediate execution and resolved to discuss the foreign ship at the next meeting. Simus then traveled to the Daragons' prison cell within the cold depths of the Sith Citadel, and, assisted by his servant, peered through an opening in the cell door, and told the explorers of their fate as well as the Sith Council's rationale behind it. Gav Daragon protested that they had not even provided a testimony, but Simus dismissed him, replying that their information was irrelevant to the Council's deliberations. Despite political opposition, Sadao was determined to see out his plan and secretly placed a tracking device on the Daragons' ship. Later, Simus discovered a disruption in the cell block where the Daragons were being imprisoned on Ziost. Carried by his servant, the magician found Sadao, who stood facing away, alone in a corridor and surrounded by dozens of Sith corpses. Simus stated his concern for Sadao's well-being, believing that it had been a Republic raid. However, Sadao only turned towards his master and uttered the words, "Sorry, my old ally." As he spoke, Sadao shot Simus with a Republic-issue blaster pistol he had taken from the Starbreaker 12, shattering the Sith's crystal sphere and killing him instantly, with a single blaster bolt also piercing through Simus' servant. Leaving the weapon as incriminating evidence against the Republic, Sadao left the scene of the murder. Simus' charred head was soon found by the Council, which mourned his death and was angered that someone would kill such a helpless opponent. The Sith declared the Republic agents monsters for having slain the veteran Council member, who was respected by even those who did not support his ideas. Sadao then burst in with the pretense of being oblivious to what was going on. Presented the remains of Simus by Counselor Dor Galram, Sadao delivered a eulogy for his late mentor and successfully called for the Council to unite and ready to strike at the Republic, securing his own place as the new Dark Lord of the Sith. Left with Horak Mul, and Dorgal Ram as his only supporters on the Sith Council, Ludo Kresh stormed out of the Ziost Citadel in defiance of what he saw as the impending destruction of everything he knew. Sadao saw Simus' death as a necessary sacrifice, as it sparked the same opportunities the late Sith had supported. By manipulating the Sith into fear of impending Republic invasion, which resonated with many who were discontent with the lack of expansion of the Empire, Sadao was declared the successor to the Sith throne. So that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, then make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling me what you think of Lord Simus, aka Mr. Head in a Jar. And with all that said, I'll see you in the next video, and have a great rest of your day.